So for you guys that are visual learners, here is a sentence kind of puzzle that I've cut apart, and you can see, as you know from our context and from what we've talked about before, you always have to look for your subject and for your verb, and then whatever else comes next in a sentence. Now, normally you look for either capitalized words or words that you know are pronouns. So you have ich in this particular sentence, which is a pronoun, and then you have auto, which is car. You have the verb fahren, and then you have the modal verb möchte. You know that the subject of this sentence has to be ich. Why do you know that? Because you have the e ending on möchte, and also it is the form that möchten becomes möchte if you match it with ich on your chart. So if you look at your chart, you can see that. So then if you get rid of all that, you know that so far your sentence just says, I would like. So you're missing parts of your sentence. The next thing you know is what I told you before in our little recording from yesterday. Your verb always goes to the end and always has an en ending. Well, the only thing else in the sentence that has an en ending is fahren, and you already know that fahren means to drive, so that will go to the end of the sentence. And then the only thing you have left is auto, okay? And so then auto has to be in the third spot. So basically your sentence then says, Ich möchte Auto fahren, which means I would like to drive a car. Now, if you were to look at that same sentence without the modal verb, here it is. Ich fahre Auto. Let me find a better strip because I kind of cut that one off. Ich fahre Auto, right? That just says I'm driving a car. So that is a lot less descriptive, because when you say I would like to drive a car, it's a lot more descriptive. You're then telling us that you would, there's a preference for something. You're not just doing the action of the verb. You're using the verb to sort of accessorize it with something else that gives it meaning, in this case, to like to, if that makes sense. Now let's look at another one. You have fahren, ich, Auto, and will. Okay, just keep in mind will is a false cognate, meaning that it does not mean will. It means to want to. It sounds like an American word, but it's not. It's a false cognate. So those are not your friends. The real ones are your friends. These are not. Okay, so again, what I would always do is when I start my sentence, I would look for the en and for the verb. Well, you know that in this case, again, it's still fahren, right? And I kept it the same for several reasons, because I kind of want you to always be able to find it for right now. But I also wanted you to see the visual of where I put it at the end of the sentence. Okay, so next we're going to look for our subject. Well, our subject is going to be ich. The reason we know our subject is ich is because if you look at your modal verb, will is in the ich form. Okay, so then we just have to put auto in the middle. Okay, because you know it's subject, modal verb, person, place, or thing, if there's no time preference, and then your regular verb at the end. So actually, let's write that on here for you guys, so you have it for reference. So you have your subject doing the action of wanting to, and this is your modal verb, right? And then you have the person, place, or thing. And you have fahren, which is to drive, which is your regular verb. And that always goes to the end if you're using a mobile. So S, MV, PPT, and then RV could be what you write down to recall how to, structure a sentence. If you had a time element in there, like I want to drive a car right now, jetzt is right now. So you would put jetzt, which is your time element, right next to your verb, because it's subject, verb, time element, person, place, or thing, and then verb. In this case, modal verb, so verb at the end, which is your regular verb. Okay? So if you were to say, I want to drive a car right now, it would be ich will jetzt Auto fahren, and then your time elements right here. Okay? You remember this from when we did it before, I hope anyway. Okay? So I'm going to give you two more, and I want you to do those on your own. So remember, write down subject, modal verb, person, place, or thing, and then regular verb. So here are the other two sentences. I'm not a very good cameraman here, but that's okay. Okay, and I want you to do these on your own. So either you can just write them down, or you can create your own little puzzles like this, your puzzle pieces, and put them back in order. It's up to you, whatever. Some of you are visual learners, so it's easier for you to move these pieces around because you can recall it. Some of you are not, and that's fine. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. Okay. Oh, I'm missing fahren in this sentence. Let me find fahren for this one. Somewhere over here. There it is. Okay, so these are your two sentences I want you to put back in order. And you can do that just on a Google Doc or whatever and hand it in. So the first one is Auto ich fahren kann. And then the second one is Darf ich Auto fahren. Now, the second one is interesting because it actually could work the way it is, because it could be a question. You know, just like in English, you could put your verb at the front and ask a question with it. So in this case, this is saying, may I drive the car, right? And may is at the beginning of the sentence, but I'm asking you to write just a statement, not a question right now. So I want you to put it back in statement form, okay? So I want you to practice with these. And then what I want you to do is I want you to create 5 of your own sentences, but I want you to have different verbs, not just fahren, and different subjects, and different person, place, or thing items. So you need to look at your chart that you have, that I posted on here on Power School Learning, and look and see what the different subjects could be, because you could use du, right? You could use er, you could use sie, you could use all sorts of different ones. So for instance, for this first one here, which is kann, right? If you were to look at your chart, let's say you're using du, right? Then you could look at your chart, and I don't have the chart on me right now, but if you look at your chart, if you look for the verb form of kann, it is kannst, okay? So it would work the same way. You would just put it here, and then let's say you're, let's use a verb, rennen, okay? And then let's use the adjective fast. Du kannst schnell rennen, right? So here's your regular verb at the end. This is your adjective. This is your modal verb, and it's conjugated to match do. Okay? I want you to write 5 of those sentences of your own and turn those in as well. So you're going to do these 2 up top and then 5 of your own. And I want you to turn those in. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. You can always contact me on Remind as well. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.